Hey everybody, Ash here with Gents. Coming back at you today with another fragrance review for a new release. This one's from Emporio Armani. It is Stronger With You Intensely, the new flanker to the original Stronger With You. There's a little bit left in there. And no, I didn't wear all this, I decanted it. So just going off of reaction, this seems like it's one of the most anticipated flankers or new releases from 2019 so far. Because when I did This Week in Fragrance and brought this up when it was first released, that video got a ton of views and a lot of interest. And in general, it just seems like people are really excited for this one for whatever reason. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys my breakdown of this fragrance. We're gonna go over the presentation really quickly, and I'm gonna let you know what I think about it. I'm gonna let you know whether I think this is better than the original and whether it's something you should check out. So let's go ahead and jump into this video, Stronger With You Intensely. Alright everybody, let's check out this presentation. Here we've got the box, you have the name of the house, name of the fragrance, and then the size and concentration down here at the bottom. This little design, which is similar to the design on the cap, goes all the way around the box. On the top you've got the Emporio Armani symbol, and then on the back here you have the ingredient information. And here is the bottom of the box. Batch code is punched into the box right up here at the top. And here we have the bottle. You're gonna notice the bottle is the exact same as the original Stronger With You, only this one is Intensely. And as well, the color of the fragrance has changed. It has this kind of syrupy amber coloration to it now. The glass is really thick. It's very sturdy, feels good in your hand. The cap here does click into place, and this is the type of cap that you have to put it on in a specific way, otherwise it won't fully close. So you see there, you have to get it in the right spot for it to click into place. On the top of the atomizer you have the Emporio Armani symbol. There's nothing doing on the sides or the back of this one. And then on the bottom you've got your sticker with your batch code right there. And there we go, the presentation for Stronger With You Intensely. Basically the same presentation as the original, but it does look nice. So 2019 so far is basically the year of the flanker. Almost every single designer released to this point has been a flanker. In case you're unaware of what a flanker is, it's basically a new release in an existing line of fragrances. So for example, we have Stronger With You, so that's where the tree would start in this circumstance. Then you would have a branch that goes out, and now you have Stronger With You Intensely. And then down the road, if there's another flanker, then you would have another branch. And sometimes you can even have flankers of flankers. But that's a video for another time. So far though, 2019 is just flanker after flanker after flanker. Armani Code Absolute, Stronger With You Intensely, the new Alien Man Fusion that's coming out, Givenchy Gentleman Cologne, that's gonna be another flanker, and Armani just announced Acqua di Gio Absolute Instinct, which is a flanker of a flanker. So Armani is just really going hard with the flankers this year. And I know that frustrates some of you out there, but a lot of other people are very excited by this, all the flankers, because that means there are twists on existing fragrance DNAs that a lot of people like. And sometimes those twists are actually a big positive. Like for me, the scent Private Accord, which I just reviewed, is a big step up from the original The Scent and The Scent Intense. So I actually really like that flanker. Sometimes it's a good thing. Now let's talk about this fragrance. In the first opening moments of Stronger With You Intensely, there's a little bit of powder, but that goes away off my skin really quickly. And that fragrance, Stronger With You Intensely, is sweet right away off my skin. The toffee in this fragrance gives off a caramel-like sweetness right off the bat, and it also mixes with a nice, warm, and spicy cinnamon note. In the opening, Stronger With You Intensely definitely gives off more of a gourmand type vibe than the original Stronger With You does. And within about 15 minutes, Stronger With You Intensely off my skin is even sweeter than it is off the top. Caramel toffee is really banging at that point. It's really projecting. It's a very nice, warm, rich, dense kind of sweetness that works great in cool weather. There's also a more typical vanilla and tonka base in Stronger With You Intensely. It's something that gets used in fragrances a lot. It's pretty common. And those notes just kind of add a little bit of depth to the fragrance, and they help maintain that sweetness that this projects off from the opening through into the dry down. To my nose, the vanilla in Stronger With You Intensely is a little bit stronger than the tonka, so that makes it come across a little bit smoother and a little bit more rounded. It's a little bit less punchy to your nose. Tonka, sometimes depending on how it's used, can come across a little bit cloying, but this fragrance doesn't come across overly cloying to me. As well, there's a dollop of amber that's in this fragrance as you head into the dry down, and that just adds a little bit of warmth and a touch of resinous sweetness to kind of mix along with the already existing caramel tonka and vanilla sweetness. This is not, though, what I would call a sugary scent, like not sugary sweet. There are a ton of sweet notes here, but they're more like the warm and spicy variety of sweet instead of the candied, sugary sweet. And there's also the tiniest touch of sage in the background of this fragrance as it dries down. It basically just gives you this very hazy, soft touch of herbs and a slight peppery feel in the aftermath of the fragrance's scent. It's kind of hard to describe, but after you've smelled something, you have kind of like a lingering after effect, you know, in your nose after you've picked up a fragrance. You get the sage there. It's kind of like when you eat something and you've already swallowed it and you have aftertaste. Like, for example, a diet soda leaves a prominent aftertaste in your mouth. The sage here works in that kind of way. So it's like after smell or something. Now in the far dry down, Stronger With You Intensely does start to get a little bit more powdery. It's not overwhelmingly powdery. I would just say it has a powdery facet to it. And it's at this point in the fragrance's life that you start to pick up the suede. For me, in the opening through to the mid and Stronger With You Intensely, the suede is pretty much buried underneath a lot of sweet notes, all those ones that we just talked about. But once those sweet notes start to tone down and they lose some of their strength, the suede starts to become more prominent and you can start to actually pick it up. The suede here has a slight musky tinge to my nose, and it provides kind of a counterbalance to all those sweet notes in the dry down. It helps give the fragrance a little bit of a darker feel once you hit the dry down. At this point in the fragrance's life, there's certainly still some sweetness there, it's just not as in your face. And if I were going to describe this one in just extremely Cliff's Notes form, I would just say it's very warm, sweet, and pleasing. If you do not like sweet fragrances, if you're a guy who goes for the more masculine things, you don't like your fragrances with just sweet note after sweet note after sweet note, this one's probably not going to be for you. And another thing that may catch a little bit of flack for this fragrance is the similarity that it has to the original Stronger With You. There are differences, of course, otherwise this one shouldn't even exist at all, but there are similarities too. To an extent, you could say that Stronger With You Intensely is just taking the DNA of Stronger With You and making some tweaks and changes here and there, you know, adjusting the knobs a little bit, and then you have a new fragrance. But realistically, that happens with flankers all the time, so that shouldn't be surprising to you. So let me go over some of the most prominent changes or differences between these two fragrances. Stronger With You Intensely is less powdery than Stronger With You off the top, and it is sweeter than Stronger With You off the top. As well, to my nose, Stronger With You Intensely comes across a little bit better blended, a little less harsh or rough around the edges. As it dries down, Intensely has a richer, sweet, warm feel to it, whereas Stronger With You has kind of a drier sweetness with a more noticeable herbal feel. Stronger With You Intensely gets rid of the chestnut note from Stronger With You and replaces it with toffee, and Stronger With You Intensely replaces the cardamom note from Stronger With You with juniper. Just as a very simple way to put it, Stronger With You Intensely comes across as a sweeter, more gourmandy, slightly darker take on Stronger With You. Now, it may be redundant if you already own Stronger With You to buy Stronger With You Intensely, mainly because you would use those fragrances in a lot of the same situations. But if you really like Stronger With You, or you think that the changes that have been done here interest you a lot more than the original, then definitely check out the new one. Do try to give it a sample if nothing else. Now, as far as my personal taste goes, I like Stronger With You Intensely more than Stronger With You. If you told me that I could keep only one, it would be Intensely for sure. For me, the sweetness that you get here from the toffee, the vanilla, and the tonka, along with the suede and the bits of spice, make it more appealing to me than the original. I did review the original not too long after it first came out, and I thought it was okay. It didn't blow me away, but I thought it was nice. But this, in my opinion, is an improvement over the original. And as well, as far as performance goes, Intensely is better off my skin than the original. Intensely lasts 8+ hours off my skin without issue, and it projects very solidly for the first 2 hours. The original is not a weak performer or anything like that. Intensely is just a little bit better. As far as when you would wear this fragrance, I'm gonna say cool weather. Fall and winter. That's gonna be your best bet. It is a little bit more of a nighttime fragrance than it is a daytime fragrance, but you can wear it in either one. And this is a pleasing type of fragrance, so really you could wear it year round, but just me personally, it's not something I would want to reach for in summer. You know, when it's really hot out and you're wearing a fragrance that has sweet note after sweet note after sweet note after sweet note, in situations like that, it could get cloying. I know earlier I said it doesn't really come across as cloying, but that's assuming that you're wearing it in cool, mild, or cold weather. I did have my wife compare both of these side by side through the opening to the dry down, wearing Intensely here and the original here. She was kind enough to give her thoughts the whole way through, and when it came down for her to pick a winner, She couldn't. She actually said that she likes both of them equally. She likes some things on one and then other things on the other, but when it came down to picking a winner, she said she liked them both the same. She did give them both a thumbs up, said they both smelled great, so in her opinion, each one of these you're gonna be good to go. Honestly, with this fragrance, the worst thing that I can say about it is that the name is stupid. Stronger with You Intensely is just such a poor choice for a name. You would have been better off just going with Stronger with You Intense. Stronger with You Eau de Parfum. Stronger with You Absolu. Stronger with You Profumo. One of the many different names that fragrance companies give a fragrance to tell you, hey, this one's a little bit different than the last one. But it's too late now. It's Stronger with You Intensely for now and forever. So that's gonna do it for me, guys. Stronger with You Intensely. I know that earlier in this video I talked about how 2019 is essentially the year of the flanker, but so far we've had pretty good luck. I really liked Armani Code Absolu. Stronger with You Intensely is good as well. We'll see how the flankers that are coming out here in the near future do. Hopefully those are gonna be positive as well. But I feel like we have kind of a good thing going, and eventually that's going to end and we're gonna get some really crappy flankers. But until that happens, we'll keep riding this flanker train until it derails. If you have smelled Stronger with You Intensely, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. For me, it's an improvement over the original, a solid release, one that I'm glad to own. All right, guys, that's gonna do it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys again next time.